There he
I'm
is.
here. Right
We
across
will
from the Civic Center.
enjoy it, buddy. We'll be quick and painless, I promise you. So we are calling to
That's
order at
fine. It just ended. I'm good.
um, all right, so let's go over adult programs. I'm sorry, programming first. So we have adult tap classes; those are ongoing. There's 6 people involved in that. Down from from the summer, which we had 14. I kind of attribute it to a few things. One, we changed the night of the week. The other one is summertime. I kind of felt like people didn't have a lot going on this time of year. Parents have a ton going on, so that's kind of what I chalk it up to. Um, Biddy basketball ends on the if I can read my own handwriting, the 4th of November. We have 37 kids involved in that, going really well. Everybody seems to be pleased with it. Julie, am I right on that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah, absolutely. They do a nice job, the SNL guys.
Awesome. Love hearing it. We have a cardio dance program that just started up on October 19th. We have 28 adults enrolled in that class. It's at the in the Heritage Room. It's going great. Excited about that one. The Children's Playhouse, they're got their 53 kids. They're doing Frozen for their performance, and they're actually taking a trip to the actual Frozen this weekend to go see it. And one of the parents in the program had knew of somebody who's in the show, who's I think actually going to be Elsa, and she's going to come and meet the kids afterwards. So it's a real cool experience for the kids. Community gardens, those close up at the end of the month. Our youth field hockey program is going very well. We have 56 girls involved. That ends on November 5th. That's being run by Tina Matera, the women's coach at Tufts University. So that's a great program, and that's only going to grow going forward. Fencing ends on the 7th of November. That has 25 people registered, and they'll just continue into the next session, which starts a couple of weeks after. We have a program, Home Alone Safety, that begins, or it's a one-day program that's on November 12th. It's being run by Frank Oliveri, who's actually the Melrose Recreation Director. Great guy, Wakefield resident, and does this as a little side hustle. So he's doing an online safety class for parents and for kids about staying home alone. And he has 12 enrolled in that currently. I expect that'll get to about 20.
Can I ask real quick, Dan? Because I saw that email blast today. I forwarded that to my wife because we've got a 4th grader.
Yep.
Is that something like, is it just like, is it like some sort of curriculum, or is he just like kind of teach it like he made it up, or?
No, he has a curriculum, and he'll be sending that to everybody before the program begins.
Oh, cool.
Yep, and then it's right online. It's all virtual.
All right. Yeah, we were just talking the other
day.
day.
Child. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, when's it going to be time to start leaving our older one alone, you know?
Right.
So, and then I got that. It was like the algorithm got me, but it was you.
Right. He's fantastic. And this is a program that Wakefield Academy offered for years. And for some reason, they didn't offer it. So he reached out to me and said, hey, I've had great success with them. Do you want to do it? And I'm like, buddy, anything that you touch, I'm all over. The fact that Academy didn't want it really makes me want it. So it made all sorts of sense to do it. So we'll kind of be his new person to get this out into the community, and we're excited about that. Pickleball, the lessons began this past Monday. All classes right now are full through the end of the year. And that's all that we've offered so far. We don't want to get into the January, February stuff because, quite honestly, those will be full fast. We want to see if we can kind of hold back the wolves a little bit, fend them off. We have some adult arts and crafty kind of programs we're doing. One was a floor arrangement class that took place on October 11th. That was full of 15 people in it. We have another one that's starting up on November 1st. That's a kissing ball program that is also full. And then we have a yarn holiday workshop that's going to be on November 29th. We only have 2 signed up for that right now, but if anything holds true with this pattern, that one will fill up soon too. So we're excited about those classes. Just something new, and we're putting that stuff over at the Albion Cultural Exchange. It just really fits with the use of the building. So that's going great. Our Power Over Parkinson's came back to the Civic Center during the summer. Unfortunately, we couldn't give them space because we needed it for our Kids Corner program. So they went to the Senior Center. They're back home with us at the Civic Center, and we're thrilled to have them there every Wednesday morning. So they're thrilled. and they have about 10 people every day. SNL flag football is still ongoing. Last week was supposed to be the last week when we originally scheduled it. We've had 3 rainouts. As we all know, every Saturday or Sunday, we've had rain for the last 20 weeks, more or less. So we have 3 more that we have to make up, and we're gonna have to get a little creative doing it, but we've never failed doing that. So we'll figure this one out too. But we have 237 kids in that program, so that's great. SNL lacrosse, that ends on 10/29 this weekend, so they have 35 kids in the program. Soccer shots, they have 47 kids in their program. They end on 11/4 because they have a makeup date they have to do. And then our rock climbing program, we only get 6 kids in that class. That class fills up instantaneously once we put that out there, and that has a couple more weeks to go too. So programming wise, we're doing really well. Classes are full, people are happy, no complaints. We're always trying to add more. So those are kind of the keys. Any questions about programs?
And I had
one question I asked you a while back about some kind of training on the Bolton fitness court.
Oh, and I spoke to somebody about it. Let me get that back on my agenda. Bolton Fitness.
So I've been noticing I go by there. There's people using it a lot more now.
They are, and I actually spoke with the woman who actually does the Parkinson's class for me. She does more than that. She has somebody who does training classes for that equipment because they did it through the senior center. So I got to reach out to that person and get that done. Thank you for that reminder.
No problem.
That's been something that we want to do. So I know, Gene, you had a question.
Yeah, but that home safety program, is it geared towards parents to try to
it's both
teach them to ensure, or is it geared towards children?
It's both. It's a combo. Teaching the kids the skills they need, giving the parents the comfort that the kids will know what they need to do. It's something that, quite honestly, I wish that my wife had taken for our kids. She's still afraid to leave our 15-year-old home alone at times, and maybe she's right, maybe she's wrong. I don't know. But I think there's a lot of useful tools in there, and it's to give everybody the comfort that the kids have the tools to stay home, and the parents have the comfort knowing that they have the tools to stay home, and they take the class together.
So if it's a virtual thing, that they log in with their children, and the gentleman speaks to
exactly, and he has a whole curriculum for it. So yeah, it looks very impressive, even down to like CPR kind of stuff, just little basic stuff that they should know.
That's nice.
Yeah. Any other programming questions?
Dan, can you hear me? I don't know if my thing is on. I meant to tell you that thing, I thought it sounded good. And when my brother was in the military in Germany in the 80s, early 80s, 70s, something like that, they had German Sesame Street, and on Sesame Street they would have things telling the little kids how it was okay to be home alone, because apparently Germans leave their little kids home alone all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. That's
so,
different. That's
so,
different
so I think what you're doing is very cutting edge.
Well, I think it's something that, as a parent who helicoptered his children, it's something that I could have totally used, and my wife a little more than I could have. Just to have the comfort that they're okay at home. And my youngest she's 15, but she isn't always comfortable being home alone. She always thinks that our house is like Fort Knox, but she feels like anybody could come through the door. Well, they can't. I've got cameras everywhere, but she's not comfortable because we've always been there. So I think it's something that I absolutely would have done. And I think that a lot of people get a lot of use out of it. So, and Julie, hopefully, you guys sign up and you find it useful.
Yeah, like I said, I'm going to talk to my wife, bring it up. I just saw it today, so we'll take a look. Yeah.
Excellent. Moving on to facilities first. So right now, the schedule is the schedule. It really never changes. Youth cheer is in the gym right now from 6 to 8 most days during the week. They wrap up next week, and then WBA comes in the following week. So once WBA comes in, they are in until March 8th, I think it is. So they will take up a lot of the time. but we're happy to have them because it's great revenue for us. They are a tenant in the building, and it provides a great service. We also have Wakefield High School Soccer. They're going to come back in on Sunday mornings into the Heritage Room. They come in from 8 to 10. That's where they kind of review their film for the week. They use it on the TV in the room, and then they go out, they do their practice. So we're excited to have them back. Other than that, it's the same old. The Civic Center doesn't change very much. The lower level bathrooms are still being worked on. Those being renovated. The water bubbler that's actually next to my office that has been missing since May. If you've been to the Civic Center since that time, it's been gone for a while. That's being put back up on Friday. A few other small projects going on, but nothing of main concern. So we're happy there, and things are going great. Moving over to Albion, the Paul D'Angelo show. If you guys didn't go to that, it went very well in the month of September. We now have a Critters and Creatures show that's going on through the Arts Cooperative of Wakefield. So that's every Friday night. They are also doing a drop-in and art program on Tuesday mornings from 10 to 12 or Wednesdays from 7 to 9. It's the second Tuesday of the month, second Wednesday of the month. And that's for you to go in and bring in whatever project you're working on, and they'll help you with it. And actually just to also kind of get some social time, because a lot of people, when you're working on these projects, you're doing it by yourself. So this is time to get out and just be able to socialize with some others. We have some improv shows. We had one that was on October 12th, went very well. We have another one that will come up on November 9th, and then one on December 14th. This is with a local guy, Brian Augusta. He actually lives at 10 Albion, right across the street. So he just brings his equipment right over. He has been in this field for a very long time. This is his idea, and we're excited about it. He's excited about it. And there's been a lot of buzz, which is great. We have the storytelling shows back. We did those in the summer with Jess and Lori, who two residents. They did another series. So they did one on the 19th of October. They did the Ghost Stories. They'll do another one in November on the 16th. That one will be about traditions. Again, you kind of see a little theme here with the months. And then on 12/7, they're going to do one, instead of like holidays, they made it comfort, because kind of time to be around family, that kind of stuff. So they have those storytelling events coming up. Those should be fun and well attended. The Chamber of Commerce is doing a paint and sip night on 11:30. They have to go and do all of their stuff through the town administrator's office and the town council to get their liquor license, one-day liquor license. Kid Casso and the Merry Lion, two local businesses, are doing kind of a pop-up show or pop-up shop kind of thing on the 6th of December. They are actually going to have liquor at their event as well. They're getting the one-day liquor license. They're going to have some vendors there selling stuff. They're also going to have kind of a drop-in down to Kid Casso for parents who just want to kind of browse around at their event, and then down there to leave the kids for a little bit. On 12/2, the Arts Cooperative of Wakefield will have their artisan show. That's going to coincide with the holiday stroll, or what the holiday stroll now is. And then we have dance classes in that facility on Mondays. So that's where we have our adult tap classes. So it's busy. We're still evaluating how the building's used, how it should be used. I'm working through the schedule as to things that were already planned. And come next May is when we'll make some evaluations on how to change things. I don't want to go in, and just say, hey, this is how we're doing stuff now. There's some established things that have been going on, and I want to give them some deference, but I also want to evaluate it. So I think next May is when we'll see some potential changes of use. And by that, I mean, the Arts Cooperative likes to meet every second Wednesday of the month. Fine, no problem. I don't have an issue with that. That's their home. I will honor that. But now maybe I make other groups that want to have meetings, it's just on Wednesdays. And quite honestly, I want to do the same thing with the Civic Center. I have too many people who meet. This group meets Monday, this group meets Tuesday, this group meets Wednesday, this group meets Thursday. Well, I can't program those days because I have a meeting here, 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 or here. I'd like to streamline it a little bit and say, okay, we're going to make Tuesday, Wednesdays meeting days. That means Monday, Thursday, Friday, I can do program days. So I want to streamline some of that stuff, I think. Quite honestly, it'll bring in more revenues and make things a little bit easier. And nobody meets on a weekly basis. They might meet once a month or here or there. So I kind of want to streamline it a little bit, I think. And we also currently aren't charging anything at the Albion Cultural Exchange. So that's something that we need to make that into a revenue stream. But right now I want to get kind of boots through the door so people know the building exists. It's amazing how many people I talk to about it who are like, well, what's that? Where is it? And when I say, well, it's the Albion Cultural Exchange, it's on Albion Street. They're like, well, where on Albion Street? So then I have to explain it. So letting people know it's there is kind of the prime thing right now. And then turning it into a business model or revenue stream is a second priority. So that's where we are with facilities. Any questions on them?
Yeah, how's the parking working down on Albion Street when you have these events? Are people?
I've heard no complaints. I mean, I think if you're going to that area, if you know that area, you know what you're in for. I'll also say that I go there in the middle of the day. Most of the time I'm walking. I'm not that lazy that I can't go 3 blocks down. But if I happen to be driving by and I decide to pop in, I'm always able to get a spot up front. Okay. And you know that area better than I do.
Oh, I know. It's always a disaster.
Yeah. I haven't had any issues. And I haven't heard of any issues. So far, so good. We'll knock on wood. Any other question? No. All right. Moving to fields. Fields are going. They are what they are at this time of year. The biggest thing is we are planning for spring 2024 already because we're going to be losing Beasley. And we are going to have to get super creative. Soccer already reached out and wanted to know, what grass fields they could potentially use. And I said, listen, we're putting the cart before the horse right now. Let's start thinking about soccer. Start thinking about how you can be creative with the space that you currently have. It's not like I haven't worn groups for years now. This is coming down the road. You need to think ahead of time. And if that means that soccer, I'll use them as an example because that's what I'm talking about right now. You may need to go from 6 travel teams per age group to 4. There's ways to do it, or you might need to take your tiny tot soccer and instead of having them scattered all over the place, make them at one time. And instead of having all these coaches come in, have one person run. Here's the session that we're going to do. These are the drills you guys are going to do for 15 minutes with the kids, and we're going to break off into games. There's different ways to do it, and I think we have to be creative for a few years.
Yeah, I have a question about that.
Yeah.
Can we start using the common space as recreation space, or organized recreation, like lining it for soccer or lining it for field hockey or whatever?
I don't know that we'll ever get to that. That could
Just
be
a temporary time when we have the field.
I know. You know how things are more than I do.
Right. There's a need. There's a green space. I understand it has other uses, but
I'm hoping that we can maybe look at Converse again. Because when I started, we used to use that space by Converse. That green space.
They don't even went down there now.
They're going to be building 2, though.
What's that, Gene?
They're going to be building 2, though.
They are, but I don't know that green space is being touched. So, again, it's going to take a lot of creativity.
Right, that's why I was trying to be creative and say use the. I mean,
I don't
know any taught soccer or something. How impactful?
I'm not opposed to it. I don't know how that's going to fly.
Okay.
Yeah,
years and years ago, Little League used to use it.
I used to play Little League.
I played soccer there when I was a kid, because it wasn't Reading Youth Soccer; it was Quantum Powell Youth Soccer, and I used to play there. So, I mean, that was in 1981. But I
can see that maybe they wouldn't want to line the fields with certain,
but maybe practice.
Things, but certainly like a tot program could go there easily.
And I already throw tot programs there. I like tot soccer shots for tots. I throw them there all the time because
there are already some small kids soccer things are already using Doll Bear, field of Doll Bear.
Yeah, that's mine too.
I would think they could do the same type of thing. I didn't notice anything being lined. I just saw they had nets and stuff.
Yep. They have the little pop-up nets.
And that space, that grassy space off of North Ave before you hit the parking garage or whatever. As far as I know, that's open, but I think it tends to get mushy.
Like it used to get very mushy. The one thing that we have going for us, at least, and I know this, most people wouldn't. Youth baseball tends to not start until about 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoons in the spring. So
Yeah.
that gives us a lot of morning time to be able to get soccer in and out. Now, of course, the one downside to having a soccer field within a baseball field or a softball field, whatever it is the lines are going to be distracting. But it's what we have to do potentially. So
Again, it's not a long-term solution. It's just a temporary problem we're trying to bandage. So
the question is how temporary.
At least 2 years, right?
Well, right. At least was the key. But we'll figure it out. And one thing that youth soccer asked me is, well, can we use other towns' fields? No. I mean, the high school might need to use the other town's track because we don't have a track. But I'm not going to say to Reading, hey, can I go? They got their own field troubles.
Yeah, they're all squeezed.
Yeah.
Well, what about, not to be an idiot, but what about the Voc? So,
It's being considered for sure. And we've done plenty for the Voc, myself and Brendan, Brendan Kent. So if we can get a favors returned, we will certainly be looking for those. That's key for us. Yep. So that's kind of, we're already working on spring now because I don't want to get to February and be like, oh boy, what are we going to do? And February I'll be like, this is what we have planned. And everybody will be on the same page. So, and I'll be reaching out to youth soccer, youth baseball, youth lacrosse, youth softball and saying, hey, I know that usually your schedules are this time. I'm going to tell you now, this is what we need to do. And let everybody figure out within those parameters. Usually I'm let them dictate to me. I'm going to have to dictate to them a little bit. So any field related questions? Because it should be fun in the spring. We'll be having an awesome time. Seeing none. Okay. That's all I have. I don't know if you guys have anything for me. Any homework assignments other than the Molten fitness classes? Nothing. Okay. We'll entertain motions.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Hi.
Seeing none. Okay, so let me just pull up my calendar real quick here. Just to go over when the next meeting might be. So 4 weeks from now is Thanksgiving Eve. We're not going to meet that day. Why don't we sit there and say that we'll probably meet the 29th? Does that seem to work? The last Wednesday of the month? Yeah. We'll put it out there. If we can't, we can't. If I need to bump it back a week, maybe we do go December 6th, and that'll take us through the end of the year. I'm not opposed to anything. So
When are we going to hybrid meetings?
Oh, that's a great question. So I just got confirmation from IT today that they're coming to install Zoom equipment in the Heritage Room. So they're coming tomorrow and Friday to do that. What that means, I don't know yet. But I know that the equipment will be there. I think, if my memory serves me correct, that we have to do this through March. And then I think
Just meaning do what we're doing.
this.
Okay.
I think we have to do this through March. I could be wrong on that. But then like the state order is up on the ability to have the Zoom, so we'll be able to be in person. So I don't know. I'll know more after I have the equipment, and then I have to know how it works. That's the big thing. So, let me find out how this stuff works, because technology is really not my thing. But I'm pretty sure I can figure it out pretty quickly. With IT guys telling me how to do this and me videoing some stuff, because I'm a visual person, we'll figure it out. And then once I know, I'd love to meet in person again. It'd be nice to see some faces, and real faces.
It says hybrid. Does that mean if you
So
couldn't
we have
make it,
to
you
have
could
a
do it?
hybrid option.
Okay.
Like, we have to have a hybrid option for anybody who wants to attend our meetings, because we have so many visitors, but can't make it in person. So this will give them the option to be able to call in, look in, whatever it is. Or if, Gene, you were away in Vegas and you sat there and said, I have some time right now, I want to jump into a meeting that's going on, you can do that. It gives those options.
Okay.
Okay. But that's kind of where we are. But I don't even know what the setup looks like yet. All I know is it wheels in and out of my office into the Heritage Room, but there's more to it than that. And there's little cameras that will pan around to all of us as we're talking. So you'll always be on camera. It's gonna be fun. I'm psyched. I love cameras.
Yeah, I'll be.
So yeah. So that's where we're at with all of that. But it was a good question, Jed, because that just hit my desk today. So I'll let you. I'll shoot you an email or text tomorrow to let you know how early it goes.
Yeah,
All right. I'll keep you on it. Come by and stop. Come by and check it out.
I will.
All right. If you guys have nothing else,
All right, we already adjourned, so
yeah, we'll call it a day. And again, feel free to pop by anytime. We love visitors. It's always nice to see faces. And Bob, did you see the email from Reading?
Yes, I
Okay.
did. Thank you. I got, sorry to bore everybody. I could talk about my personal stuff, but the USA softball just approved. Oh, I guess I told you that they just approved the tournament.
Yep.
They changed the date and, they just
Yep.
approved it. All of a sudden they posted it and now my email is like blowing up.
Right.
So yeah, I have, there are several people I've been meaning to get back to, you being one of them.
That's okay. I just want to make sure you saw it, and I thought that his response was very positive. So
Yeah.
it sounds like we'll be able to make that work. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you get back to him, I'll set up a date for the three of us to go grab lunch or whatever, and just get
Great.
that knocked out for you. Okay.
Okay, no, sounds
Awesome.
great.
All right, everybody. Great seeing you.
Hey, everybody.
Go Celtics.
Have
All
a good
go
one.
Seas. Sorry.
Bye, everybody.
And have a great
Thank you.
Thanksgiving if since I won't see you guys before then. Okay.
Yeah.
You too.
You as well.
Enjoy. My
Bye.
favorite
Bye.
holiday. Bye.
Bye now.
Bye.